Stuck on an Island, my final project for CIT 260. And I wanted to give special thanks to my team members, Ryan Hafen and Adam Frank, as well as our instructor, Brother Anderson. I greatly appreciate everything that you have taught me this term. Thank you so much. For my presentation, I will be giving you information on static versus non-static variables, arrays, array lists, enums, for and for each loops, throw, try catch, character versus byte stream, writing data to a text file, and demonstrate the game. A static or class variable is associated with a class, not an object. One thing that you will see is that it has the word static in it. This allows you to have such a class, such as number of bicycles, which will be used to hold the instance variables within the class. And so anyway, but a non-static variable. Non-static variables, they are the ones that handle the objects themselves. They're the ones that take care of those things, such as in our previous example, the bicycle parts or types of bicycles. And you can see an example of that here, where in this case we have the class location, and it has the different elements within that. Now, a simple array, or an array, is an object that contains a fixed number of values. They also need to be the same type of value. They cannot be different, otherwise it will not work. And I have an example here. As you can see, there are two arrays here. There's the wreckage, reef, and so on. And then it shows the location. It is a two-dimensional location showing the x and the y coordinates. This gives you an idea of what an array looks like. It is a fixed number, a certain number of items that you can have, and they do all have to be of the same type. An array list is very useful in that it allows you to add or drop things. It also allows you to have items of different types. What it does is it ends up creating an object out of these different things, out of these different items that are in the array, and allows you to create that dynamic array that can be grown or shrunk as needed. And it just depends on the size of the array. It's very useful, and is quite often used to manage things like, such as a backpack. And for my example, as you can see here, we have the option here of being able to add and to remove items. An enum array is also an array, but it is a fixed array. It is a fixed length and must be of the same type. This particular one is showing the island information with the wreckage, reef, beach, so on. And they must be of the same type. They have a fixed length. They never change, and they are written in all capitals, is what I discovered. And I've already mentioned the other items here, so let me move on. A for loop. This loop will run over and over through the code until the condition is met. As in this example, the for will continue through this until it is completed, and then once it's completed, then it moves on to the next steps in the code. For each loop, a for each loop will run the same condition as the for loop, except it runs for each item. There can be multiple conditions that it is trying to meet when it runs that. It will run it over and over through each one of these items until all conditions have been met with all items. There's the throw exception. This is also code from our game. This particular code The original code was written by one of our team members. As you can see that this part has been marked out because we've added I added the new throw, or the throw new, and also specified where it would be looking for this particular, for the particular catch for this. Now exceptions happen, and rather than having your program crash, an exception, when you throw an exception, it will be caught by the specified try catch, and then it will also allow you to properly end the game rather than having it crash, which could cause damage. Or you could end up in a perpetual loop of error. Now the try catch, as you can see here, we have a try catch, and what it does is when it runs through, if there is an exception error, it will catch that, and then it will post a message according to however it has been set up and written to accomplish this. Okay, character streams. Those are very important. There's two kinds of streams. There is the binary and the character. The character streams have been used so that they are human readable, and they use Unicode so that you can use these different symbols as well as other letter characters that might be in a foreign language, which is also very convenient because it would make it so much easier for someone in a foreign country rather than have to worry about trying to write everything in English, which is a very good thing. So they're human readable. They save to a text file that can be viewed, and it can be viewed with a text editor, and that is one of the biggest things about these. And they're very useful for being able to take a look and to possibly even use for debugging purposes, things like that. But if you don't need to have that information, if you don't need to be able to read it yourself, there is always the computer, which uses a byte stream. Now, the byte stream is very useful for the computer. It knows exactly what it is because it uses a binary code. And this is one of my favorite quotes for binary. I thought it was very fun. There are only two types of people in the world, those who understand binary and those who don't. And the I.O. people that do not read it will think that would be a 10, which I thought was a very appropriate and fun joke. Now it's time to save the file. And what you want to do is you want the file to either use the either the binary or the character stream. And what you will do is have it run, and it will use the line. It's going to use the apparently it uses the writer, and yeah, here it is, print writer, to write to the file, and then I have called a command where it will ask the people to input the directory where their file will be found. And then you always want to make sure that you close the writer, because if you do not close the writer, it can leave things, it can cause leakage, in memory leakage, and it can also cause a lot of exceptions. It can cause a lot of trouble if you don't make sure that you close it. So in this situation, I have closed that writer. Now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate in the game some of the things that we have talked about here. So I'll have the game demo now. One moment. Okay, the game is Stuck on an Island, and what it is first asking for, it is asking for my name, which I will give it. So I'll enter that, and then it brings up the menu. As you can see, it says here, "Welcome to the game, John. We hope you have a lot of fun." So I can choose between new, continue, restart, help. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the help to show you what that looks like. Okay, as you can see, we now have the health menu. And let's take a look at the goal, see what the goal of the game is. Your goal is to build a raft and escape from the island before you run out of resources. Let's go ahead and get out of that. Now let's go ahead and start a new game. As you can see, I've got the new game menu. And what I would like to do is let's go ahead and take a look at the island inventory. That is K. And you can see right above the menu here, because it repeats the menu, we have a knife, a rope, water bottle, and a flashlight. Let's go ahead and go ahead and let's check. Let's go ahead and move from our current location. First, let's see what our location is. I believe that is L. Let me double check that. Yep. And as you can see, our current map location is 1-1. As I had mentioned earlier, it is a 2D map. Now let's go ahead and move to a new location and see what happens. Let's go ahead and enter the coordinates. We're going to enter 2 and 6. And let's see where we end up. Well, it looks like we've ended up in the jungle. And it looks like our health has decreased a little bit as we pass through the jungle. As you can see, that is a sum. We've reduced the health by a sum of these two numbers. Okay, then let's go ahead and observe our health at this point, or at least observe the menu. Okay, as you can see, we have some options in here to make an observation. And we'll return back to the main menu. And let's go ahead and move to a new location. Let's go back to where we began. And let's observe our location. All right, and there we are. All right, and thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope that this was a very good opportunity to learn a little bit more about our team and the thing we were able to do. Unfortunately, our game is not complete, but we did work very hard on it. Thank you so much. Goodbye.